Hello, my name is Rachel, and today we are going to look at answering the interview question, why have you applied for this job? So, this question is a really common interview question that you will often get asked at the very start of an interview. And there's a few key things that interviewers are looking for with the answer that they want to see. So, firstly, what are your motivations? So, think about the motivations behind why you've applied for the role. And we'll talk a little bit more about this on the next slide. They will also want to see your understanding of the role. So, have you looked at the job description and do you understand what that job means in reality? They will also want to know your understanding for the organisation and company too. So this kind of helps highlight whether you've done your research around the job and sort of understand the context of the wider company and what they do. So a question like this is really about motivation and your fit for the role. So the key really here is you want it to sound specific and personal and avoid being generic. Now, you might be applying for lots of different jobs, and the key really is even if you are applying for lots of jobs, you want to make sure that the interviewers feel as if this is the job that you really, really want. So you don't want your answer to be general. You don't want it to feel like it's maybe the same answer that you've used for multiple other interviews that you've been to. So going into a little bit more detail then on the structure for a question like this. What you really want to be doing is linking a few different things together to kind of align all of the above to make sure that you sort of stand out. So what we mean by that is you need to sort of cover the three things on the slide. So firstly, you've got you. So you would be your own skills. So what can you bring to the role? Um, and it's important also to think a little bit about how you can align those to the job description, linking in with the role, and also the organisation. Um, you can also bring in here a little bit about your own interests and your goals and how they maybe link to why you've applied for the company position or the organisation's position. So say, for example, you're applying for a data analyst role, and that's something that you see as a career option in the future, then you can link that with your goals then as to why you've applied. So the second thing then after you is the role itself. So I think it's really important within the answer that you then go on to talk about what the job involves and how that links to you. So have a look at the job description, look at some of the tasks that you'd be required to do, and link that to your own skill set and motivation as well. So, for example, one of the bullet points in the job description might be that you're required to work in a fast-paced, proactive team and use your initiative. So, for example, you could talk a little bit about how one of the skills and strengths that you believe you have is your ability to work in a fast-paced environment and work as part of a team. And you can therefore see the link that you're making between you and the role. And finally, moving on to the organisation, it's also important to talk a little bit about the employer itself and how that kind of fits in with you and your goals. So we said at the beginning about making sure that the interviewers feel as if you only want to apply and be successful with the job that you're interviewing for. So you might be applying for lots of things, but really they want to be able to see that you want to work for them. And how you can show that is through doing some research around the company. So can you look at their website, look at their values that they're including on their web pages. What kind of things are they doing at the moment? What projects are they working on? Talk a little bit about those things and what they mean to you, to showcase that kind of link between your interests and their company. So, like I said at the beginning, it's about aligning the above. So what you can do in a structure of an answer like this is follow the format of you, the role, and the organisation. You can intertwine these things a little bit if you feel like that naturally is a better structure to do. But the key thing really is to make sure that you're mentioning the following things within an answer. So that was a fairly short video today. I hope that's been helpful. There's lots of support that we can offer, including a lot of other short videos on interviews, on broad interview technique, how to use the STAR method, etc. So do go back into that catalogue and have a little look at some of those other videos if you would find that helpful. And thank you for listening.